I can feel like 80 rats in my Marys. Me and Drizzy back to back, it's getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some bins all on your head like Justin Terry. Whoa.
Hello, man. Let's get into it. The Faison View podcast. Let's go. Episode 186, man. 186, man. Black King, man. Black Panther, man. We're going to get right into it, straight into it. As you have behind me and as I have on, handcrafted jewelry by yours truly. Handcrafted bracelets, necklaces. Man, hey, I'm expanding the brand. So definitely make sure that you contact me and make sure you go hit up, man, at onecolorpower.com. OneCLRPOWER.com, man. I got the drip for you. Anklets, waist beads coming in. We getting right into it, man. So, man, this is going to be a very special episode, especially from the untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman. And, you know, everybody's just hurt. 2020 has hurt us in so many different ways. So, first topic, I'm definitely going to send my condolences to him and just really talk about his impact on the world. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, I did record this after the Brandy versus Monica. So I want your opinions, and I'm gonna give you mine on who I think won. Brandy and Monica, man, two legendary acts. So that was just amazing to watch. Thirdly, I really want to get into this. I want to talk about Joe Budden and him leaving Spotify and what that really means in the podcast world and the game. So definitely going to touch on that. Lastly, you already know how I do it. Would you rather give up all the drinks in the world? You can't drink nothing except for water, or give up all the food that you cook in the oven? Very interesting. So we're gonna get right into it, man. As you can see, I'm gonna say it once again, man. Make sure that you follow and make sure that you go shop at Color Power, man. Handcrafted jewelry, black-owned business, man. I'm doing my thing, man. Make sure you go support. So, man, first and foremost, rest in peace to the king, man. To the king. This hurt and it's just so unexpected. 2020 has hit us in so many different ways. I'm just afraid to say it can't get any worse because it's gotten worse. It has gotten worse, and this is a amazing man, like a real amazing person, a man, and it's crazy because usually with celebrities you can't really tell if they're a good person or not, but you can tell Chadwick Boseman was really just a good, genuine person, man. Good, genuine person, hard worker, courageous, humble, genuine. You know, like really for his people and everyone. He touched a lot of people. I don't know if you guys ever seen that viral video. Of course you should have seen it, of the kids going crazy in the school, little boy dancing, flexing, doing the Tootsie Roll. And I didn't even know, come to find out that was because they was going to see Black Panther. And it's crazy that the Black Panther had came out while he was going through the things he was going through. He had cancer and was dealing with that through a lot of his amazing roles. You know, he just had 21 Bridges just come out as well. He's had so many amazing movies since he was notified that he did have cancer. And it's saddened because the last time we seen him in our good graces, he didn't look too well. And you know, just like the internet, everybody trolling and trying to be funny. Maybe it's for a role. We just never, that's the thing. You never know what somebody else is going through. And it's so beautiful because this man didn't go back and forth with anybody. Oh, why would you talk about this? Well, you know, he didn't do that. He didn't want his publicist, he didn't want anybody to know what he was going through, man. And as you can see, everywhere he went, everything he did, he had a smile on his face, and he continued to stay strong. These are life lessons, not just circumstances. These are life lessons. The integrity, the type of person he is. It leaves me lost for words because this hurts in so many different ways and facets. And not even just in the entertainment world. Really just impactful to our black brothers and sisters and our black brothers and queens and all over. He was a very impactful man. And movies such as 42, movies such as the James Brown movie. It's like he brought those characters out, and we could see a star, like a real star being born. And it sucks, man. It sucks because we won't, Black Panther, Black Mamba, we don't get people like that back. These were angels on earth and that graced their presence on earth and really impacted so many people. Like, it hurts me too, because it's like, I'm glad that my son is not old enough to understand, but also about these millions of other kids who looked up to Black Panther and who looked up to Chadwick Boseman and the image of him. The image, he is a king. And it's crazy because not disregarding Black Panther in the movie, he embodies a king, man. He really does. And every time you see him, that's what you think. That's really what you think of this person. And he was magnificent. He was becoming something, and he's already a legend, but he was becoming something of an icon, right before our eyes. And, you know, sadly and untimely, he passed away, man. It's just disheartening. It hurts to even talk about because it's just so unexpected. And he's become such an amazing staple on the culture. He really has. And Chad, I just want to say condolences to your family, condolences to your family, your friends, your fans, your peers, everyone. And I'm really just disheartened and saddened by this, as the word is too. So I'm gonna give a moment of silence. Chad, you will be missed. We all love you, and thank you for having such a big impact on all of us while you were here. You're courageous. You're amazing. You're a strong king, man, and you embodied that, and you showed us and leaded a lot of us Black brothers and sisters to the path of something, and doing something right and doing something good, and actually and driving yourself. Keep driving. Stay dedicated to your craft. Stay dedicated, because Chadwick Boseman, he didn't come out of nowhere. He's been hustling. He's been grinding. He went to HU. He's a very intelligent man. But as the time went on, he just elevated. And he's a prime example of what we need to do and how we need to be within ourselves, man, as human beings. So rest in peace to a legend, man. Rest in peace, King, man. We love you. So on to a little brighter note, man. Get the sad vibes out the way real quick. Brandy versus Monica. Hey, Alexa, turn it up. Let me just vibe out real quick. Because Brandy and Monica had me trying to get cuffed up, man. They got them hits, them slow jams, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I picked Brandy, and it was by a slight edge. I love Monica music as well. I love Brandy as well. But I did not know, I'm just talking about me personally, I did not know that Monica dated way back then as she did. Like, they both are amazing talents. They started their careers at the age of 12 and 13 years old. Like superstar things, child prodigy things. So, and it's beautiful that we can give our queens that verses, that Twist and Timberland gave these queens the real platform that they needed to really just show everybody, look here, we legends, we icons. So we need to show our respect, man. We need our due respect, man. 1 million viewers. 1 million viewers, man. It's a lot. It was a lot of songs that I just was blown away by. Angel in Disguise, it's like, oh, that hit me differently. Best Friend with Brandy, that hit me differently. Like, them songs hit me differently. And I was really judging it. Honestly, top to bottom, I was really judging it. But I really do think it was a tie. Like, it's just so crazy because they make so angelic type of music. Like you can just vibe and you can just feel and get and catch a vibe and just, you know what I'm saying, get your drink, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you a dude or not, man. That tough stuff out the window, that Brandy and Monica come on. I don't care what you talking about. I don't care what you talking about. That Boy Is Mine came on. That joint was lit. But one thing I do think, I ain't gonna lie, and I'm gonna be the first to say it. Well, not the first, but I won't be the last. It was the energy in there. I understand that Brandy and Monica had went through something, and I'm just glad that they came together for this, for the world, for the culture, for all of us. But everybody sensed that energy. It was a little off, and I feel like this was a top 3 verses to me. But I feel like it could have it had so much of everything to be number 1. But I felt like them not singing as much, kind of like it didn't depreciate the song, because the song is already hits, mega hits on mega hits. But like we wanted to just to see the range and them having fun. Brandy was really having fun and being loose, and Monica, she's amazing, beautiful soul, but she just real. Like Monica is real and she's real gutter. So I respect that too. But it was just like, I wish they was just like on the same page, because when The Boy Is Mine came on, I wish they could have hit the duet, you know what I'm saying, a little better. But regardless of anything, I'm appreciative of watching greatness by these 2 queens. Like, this was just amazing showing. And you guys definitely comment below, what was your favorite song? Who did you pick, Brandy versus Monica? At the end of the day, I have it tied a little bit. I don't know, like, if you go down to listen, then Monica's new song, like, hit. The Trenches song with featuring Lil Baby, that was a hit. And it just shows you that Brandy and Monica still can do this to this day. Their voices are just different. And Brandy voice, and one thing I say, I add slightly to Brandy with Monica, Brandy's voice is just, it's timeless. It's timeless and it hits you differently. Like, Brandy's voice is just, I can't even explain it. It just hits you so differently. And the fact that they were so young, making these amazing tracks, making songs with Teddy Riley, making songs with Babyface, making songs with Missy. Missy is a legend. All of these, Teddy Riley, Babyface are legends, icons. So for them to even be teaming up with them just throughout their career just shows you how great Monica and Brandy are. Like, greatness. So, hey man, y'all give me y'all answers on who won, because in this one, I really don't particularly have a winner. I really don't. Like, I absolutely love this. And I feel like what makes Snoop's and DMX's the best verses overall. And I also will say that I will also say Beanie Man and Bounty Killer was definitely a great verses. That's my top 3 as well too. And the reason why I say that was because the performance. We got to feel that energy. We got to feel them. Monica and Brandy did an amazing job. I just wish they would have sung to us. Really sing. They did have moments, but if they would have really sung to us, I think they would have had like 3-4 million views. You know what I'm saying? But this was just amazing, showing just the fact that these queens hit 1 million views, and rightfully so. They should. Like, these 2 are icons. So I loved it, absolutely loved it. So you see, I'm jamming. I'm jamming. Alexa, play Monica. I'm jamming throughout the whole podcast, man. Y'all gotta come join with me. See, man, these songs come on. I don't care how tough. I don't know how tough you are. You strapped out. I don't care about none of that. This is just a vibe. Stop trying to be tough all the time. Alexa, turn that up. Turn that up. I'm goofy, man. I'm goofy. I just had to get my little bag. But Alexa, turn it down. Because this one, my next segment and topic is going to get a little serious. Because I want to talk to people. I really want people to understand and know what's going on, especially in the podcast world. And really, this Joe Budden situation, it really bothers me. The Joe Budden leaving Spotify, because I'm going to just set the record straight. I love the Joe Budden podcast. And I feel like, and I had a different perception of Joe Budden before I started watching it. I've been watching it for about almost 3 years now. We got to understand that Joe's been podcasting for 5 years. One thing I really respect about Joe, and people don't really know or to understand because everybody wants to be a troll, everybody just want to see clickbait, and as soon as you see something on the internet, you go right to that's true. What I really respect about Joe and just him as a person, especially his podcast, that he is speaking real facts and you have to listen to him talk. So in instance of this Joe Budden leaving Spotify deal and all these things are going on, I feel like people don't understand or value Joe Budden and what he's done for the culture in his last 2 to 3 years in the podcast world. In the podcast world, when Everyday Struggle came out, a show which he created, which he had the idea for and brought to these people, it is the other side where Charlamagne was talking. I'm gonna get into that, and he was just saying, about the ownership and stuff like that. But to Joe's point, in each and every way of the podcast game, he has had ownership. He's had to pull up. He's created and brought to these companies great ideals. And that's one thing that I can say that, okay, sometimes you can't be as, I'm not saying you can't be done, but that's the problem. That when we're creating, when we want to partner and we want to bring things to something, as a person of color, we get looked sideways or we getting taken advantage of, and it should not be this way. So, and the point of what Joe Budden was saying in regards to the podcast game is that right here, I have ownership. I created that. I even left Complex because I wasn't in agreement nor was I shown respect for being the creator of this whole thing. I wasn't shown respect. So let me leave and get my own platform. Let me butter back and get back on my own podcast, which he has been doing for 5 years, even before Everyday Struggle, and has built and structured into something amazing. And that's what people are really not understanding, that he created this a long time ago, and people don't understand that you have to take steps to be on top. You do have to take steps to get to where you want to go. It is all about repetition. It is about repetition. And he has ownership of his own podcast. So with that being said, with him having ownership, he tries to partner with Spotify, and he does a two-year deal with them. Spotify, what they try to do is take advantage of them, and they try to take their rights. And this sounds familiar because guess what? And I was so confused about the Spotify deal when I was first watching it, understood about the deal, because Spotify produces music. They put out music. They help you brand and put out your music, not in the podcast realm. So that being said, Joe has already set a huge precedent and a line of being a leader over here in Spotify and bringing everybody on, because now guess what? Everybody's doing podcasts. I would say it's almost more podcasters than it is rappers and singers, almost. He popularized podcasting, not saying podcasting in general, talking about visually and the way the dynamic of podcast is now. Because a lot of these people talk trash about Joe, you say what you want. He has gotten on a podcast with his friends and had real discussions and changing his life and making money and changing lives of his friends by gathering with his friends and just talking. So now the dynamic is totally different of how podcasting is nowadays, because that's all you generally see is people with panels talking to their friends, having general conversations, which they would have without the camera on. But it really bothers me, because yet we still don't want to give Joe Budden his credit. And he deserves it, rightfully so. He deserves that, rightfully so. Because his podcast is elevated and elevated and elevated and done triple, quadruple the numbers on YouTube because of the visual effect of it, and you feeling like you're in the podcast. And what people don't realize about podcasting can last up to however you want it to last. It can last to 20 minutes to 3 hours. Joe Budden has a podcast that is 3 hours. Who is going to sit there and listen or visually watch a podcast for 3 hours? But people do it. He has almost 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and more people are watching than that. It just it's sickening because we always try to disrespect. I know Joe has a lot of different views. He may be a complicated man, but one thing I don't respect is people that just come out their mouth and just talk about something they don't know about, or don't even know the person who you're talking about. You don't know, because if you watch a podcast, you will really understand Joe. And he's a very intelligent man, very intelligent. I mean, you could say what he's hypocritical, and guess what? I want him to get his respect, especially when talking about podcasting and the evolution of podcasting. I love Gilly the Kid. I watched $1 million worth of game, but in reality, he set the path for Gilly too. And with the Charlemagne conversation that Joe had, he was nothing but factual, because Charlemagne, which I like Charlemagne too, but guess what? Charlemagne has been on iHeartRadio for 10 years. Charlemagne just started his podcast with his friend and talking amongst each other and talking about, things of the nature or whatever. And Charlemagne also had a MTV show called Guy Code. Was on it. That didn't come to fruition. So what Joe was saying about Charlemagne was 100% factual. You can't talk to me about ownership and what I should be doing with my things if you don't own yourself. Stop trying to fight and combat with one another when we're in this together. I'm fighting a bigger fight at this moment. While people are disrespecting and trolling him, he's fighting a bigger fight. So guess what? Your Joe Rogan's, who is just one in a million. You can't, Joe Rogan is one in a million. But guess what? You have people on Spotify now that are getting $100 million deals or $50 million deals or just an astronomical number deals. But guess what? Joe said something that's real though, for real. And that's just real. That and it was the example he said, if Joe Rogan was to make the company $900 billion and he only makes $100 million, you think he would have something to say to them or not? And that's Joe, and that's what he's fighting for. The fact that I have so much engagement and I have so many people on this app, and you are getting paid this amount, and I'm getting paid this amount for my creations, it has to stop. So I can understand why he is leaving. People say, oh yeah, he signed a bad deal. Doesn't matter. He signed a bad deal. Gradually, and everybody has done it. But guess what? In order to learn and find out about a deal, sometimes you have to go into it. And also people don't, I'm not of that essence. I'm not saying that just getting a deal and just getting a deal just because so you can see. But also you don't know people's circumstances when that deal comes. And that's the reality of something. That's the reality of things. Yes, I would, if somebody just came at my door, knocking on my door, Malik, we want to partner with you. We want a 70-30 deal, man. 70-30 deal. You can take, you got what, 2 million. You can take your 2 million guaranteed. I haven't seen M's in my life. So that puts me in a dilemma, but you have to know your worth, understandably. But we have to understand all the optics around everything. We have to understand all the optics around. Stop just being a hater. Let's understand the fight. Let's fight this fight together, because that's what we're talking about. This is the day and era that we're in. We need to have our own. We need to have our own. They can go over there. We need to have our own. And if we need help and guidance, we need to partner and do it the right way. It's not as easy as it sounds, but that's what I'm saying. So I feel like people need to really honestly respect Joe and what he's doing and what he's done for the podcast game. Because being honest with you, he has elevated the game in podcasting to a whole nother different spectrum. Visually as well. Definitely visually. Because podcast game was really just you hearing podcasts and you hearing the podcast through your phone or through the car. Now you get a visual experience, and he's been doing the visual experience for 5 years. So I feel like we just have to educate ourselves. Stop just trying to go to hate, and let's understand what's going on. And that's what I feel about this situation, man. So I know that wherever he goes, that it's going to be a big bag waiting for him. And wherever he chooses to do, it's going to be a big bag. And everybody and all his fans, including myself, are going to follow. Because we've been following that podcast for what, 3 to 5 years now. He has an audience. He has a fan base. They go where he goes. His content is good. Like it or not, his content is good. If you tune in, you will actually understand that. And I'm not here trying to defend nothing. I just want people to actually look at the optics of situations, not just jump into the gun because you see something on the internet. So, man, lastly, on to the next topic. Lastly, would you rather give up all the drinks, you can't drink nothing else but water, or give up any food cooked in the oven? I'm giving up. That's fine. I can do the healthy way. I'm just thinking like everything you put in the oven, like cooking wise, you good. I'll drink water for the rest of my days. That's gonna be hard though. That's a difficult one because you talking about all drinks. We talking about liquor. I'm talking about all drinks. All drinks. I'm not talking about just juice. So I'm not a heavy drinker anyway. But that's a tough question. That is a tough question. I might say, nah, I can't, because that food in the oven just torch. It just hit different. Like, it just hit different. Like, pieces, steak, potato, like, we can name it. Oven, it's no questions, bro. I can't. I'll be drinking water for the rest of my days in the healthy way. Sure. Definitely, man. So, hey, man, make sure you guys, every single Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, every single Thursday, you go shop Color Power at 1CLRPOWER.com, 1CLRPOWER.com, man. Hey, kill that like button, kill that subscribe button. You already know how we getting there. Alexa, turn up. Let me turn up before we go, because that Monica and Brandy was killed. I was watching the live like. All right, guys, man. Every single Thursday at 5 p.m., man. Love you guys, man.